Hello and a very warm welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. I am Vaibhav Verma with India Votes. First up, a look at the top stories. Campaign ends for the 8th phase of Lok Sabha polls. Hectic rallies across 7 states to garner maximum votes. Modi campaigns in Rahul's Amethi. West Bengal Electoral Office to investigate Modi's speech alleging booth rigging and violence in the state during polling on the 30th of April. Faizabad authorities asked to submit report on Modi's rally. Opposition is charging the BJP's prime ministerial candidate with using religion to seek votes. And in a big setback for Congress's Ashok Chavan, Supreme Court dismisses his petition in paid news case, says Election Commission can inquire into the allegations. Campaigning came to an end for the 8th phase of the Lok Sabha elections at 5 p.m. on Monday. 64 constituencies spread across 7 states will face polls in this phase, marking the second last of the 9-phased elections. Here's a report on the last lap of campaigning.
BJP's prime ministerial candidate Narendra Modi upping the stakes on the last day of campaigning for the 8th phase elections. Modi took the battle right into the Gandhi family bastion of Amethi. Campaigning for party candidate Smriti Irani, Modi launched a fresh assault on the way the Gandhi family handled the seat since independence. Amethi has shaped up to be one of the most keenly watched seats, facing a triangular contest between Rahul Gandhi, Smriti Irani and Kumar Vishwas. Rahul Gandhi is seeking a third term from the seat. Earlier, Modi also campaigned in Ambedkar Nagar, Faizabad, Kaushambi and Jaunpur constituencies. As many as 15 seats are up for grabs in this phase. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi also made a last attempt to win over voters by campaigning in the Gonda constituency of Uttar Pradesh. His mother, Sonia Gandhi, garnered support in the Muzaffarpur district of Bihar that also goes to elections in this phase. Varanasi, the political hotbed in these elections, also witnessed hectic campaigning through the day. Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal held a massive roadshow in the interiors of the holy city, seeking support. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The West Bengal Electoral Office will investigate the election speech delivered by Narendra Modi at Asansol last week. A video CD of the speech has been sent to the Election Commission in New Delhi for review in the speech. In the speech, Modi had complained of booth capturing and rigging in West Bengal, Bihar and western Uttar Pradesh. He alleged that the Election Commission was not acting impartially and dared it to take action against him. In a separate incident, the Election Commission also sought a report on Narendra Modi's address to a rally in Faizabad. Modi had invoked Lord Ram in his speech with an image of the deity in the backdrop. The Simandhra region of Andhra Pradesh will be simultaneously voting for its 25 Lok Sabha seats and assembly polls on Wednesday. This will be yet another crucial phase for ruling Congress in Andhra Pradesh. Since the bifurcation of the state, the party has lost many of its leaders to rival parties. Its Chief Minister Kiran Kumar Reddy also quit the Congress to form a new party. In 2009 polls, Congress rode on former Chief Minister Y.S.R. Reddy's influence to win 19 out of the 25 seats. TDP had won 4. The remaining 2 seats were won by Jagan Mohan Reddy's Y.S.R. Congress party in the by-elections, which were held later. And joining us now, our correspondent Raj Kamal from Simandhra. Raj Kamal, how crucial is the caste factor in Andhra Pradesh, in Simandhra, where you are right now?
Vaibhav, it is very relevant in this part of Andhra Pradesh, which is going to be declared as a new state on 2nd June, which is a notified date. These are the first elections, and caste equations are very crucial. You have three kind of voters: Reddy community, Chaudhary and Balijas. These three Hindu communities are very relevant, and they occupy 24% of vote share in 13 districts of Seema region. That includes 175 assembly segments and 25 Lok Sabha seats. And also these caste equations are crucial for political parties, because Telugu Desam party is a completely called as Naidu party, which has given tickets to 114 Naidus, which are Chaudhary, they belong to Chaudhary community. And YSR Congress party, which is predominantly Reddy dominated, has given 120 seats to Reddy community members for MLA seats. So this kind of ticket distribution will give you the clear indication on the cost, impact and the influence of cost in this part of Andhra Pradesh, Vaibhav.
Raj, what about the minority vote? How crucial is that? And could it really tip the balance in Seemandhra for either party?
Vaibhav, we have to understand the minority voters in two different aspects. There are religious minorities and there are caste minorities. Caste minorities are those who belong to Hindu community, and they're called Balijas and Vaidhas in Tirupati region. So in the religious minorities, Kadapa, Kurnool, Anantapur and some part of Chittoor district have 8% of Muslim minority population is there, and they are generally Congress voters. But this time, lack of Congress presence is putting them on a confusion. They are confused whether to take TDP that has allied with BJP. When we spoke to a lot of minorities, they say they could have gone to TDP, but there is a minority factor. They are trying to extend their support to YSR Congress, but that may not be a possibility, because the Christian minorities are always inclined towards YSR Congress, because Jagan Mohan Reddy himself is a Christian. So this kind of equation may have an impact on this bipolar contest, where issues like water sharing and capital building in this new state are taking a backseat, and religious minorities and caste politics are taking a front seat. So it is very difficult and some kind of interesting for political analysts to understand which vote turns towards which party. That is very interesting to see, Vaibhav.
Raj, thank you very much for joining us. Uttar Pradesh will have the second highest number of seats at stake in the 8th phase. The state will see polling in 15 Lok Sabha seats on Wednesday. Apart from the key contest of Amit, some of the candidates who will be in the fray in this phase are Congress's Beni Prasad Verma and cricketer turned politician Mohammad Kaif. In 2009 polls, Congress led in these 15 seats, with 7 in its kitty. Ruling Samajwadi Party had won 3, while Mayawati's BSP had 5 seats. But of course, all eyes will be on Amethi, where Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will be in the fray on Wednesday. The contest in Amethi this year promises to be a three-way affair, quite unlike previous elections. BJP has fielded Smriti Irani from the seat to counter Rahul Gandhi. Aam Aadmi Party has also fielded Kumar Vishwas to complete the most high-profile contest in this phase. In 2009, Rahul Gandhi won the election by defeating BSP candidate Ashish Shukla by close to 4 lakh votes. However, he may not have a similar success with the entry of 2 prominent challengers in Smriti Irani and Kumar Vishwas. And West Bengal will vote for 6 Lok Sabha seats in the 8th phase of the elections on Wednesday. This phase will be a tough test for Mamata Banerjee and ruling Trinamool Congress. All the 6 seats in the central part of the state have been a stronghold of the left front for decades now. In 2009, all the 6 seats in Jhargram, Medinipur, Purulia, Bankura and Bishnupur were won by the left front. Out of these 6, CPM won 4, CPI 1 and All India Forward Bloc managed to win 1 seat. Facing stiff opposition from its allies, the government dropped its move to initiate a probe into the Gujarat Snoopgate case, allegedly involving State Chief Minister and BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi. Government sources now say the appointment of a judge to probe the case will be taken up by the next government. Here's a report.
The government is dropping its plans to investigate charges of snooping against former Gujarat Home Minister Amit Shah, allegedly at the instance of Chief Minister Narendra Modi. The development comes a day after its allies, the National Conference and the NCP, advised against the move.
जिन लोगों ने गुजरात में आतंक फैला रखा है और जिस तरह से वहाँ अल्पसंख्यक समुदाय को एक डर और खौफ में जीना पड़ रहा है, वो इस तरह की बात करे तो अच्छा नहीं लगता है.
3 days ago, the government said it will initiate a high-level probe into the alleged instance of prying into the activities of a young woman architect in Gujarat. The government's probe was intended to find out who ordered the surveillance.
जितने भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल हिंदुस्तान में इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, उनसे अपने आप को ऊपर समझने लगे हैं. अभी प्रधानमंत्री बनने की बात तो बहुत दूर है. वो तो ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे अपने आप को प्रधानमंत्री घोषित उन्होंने खुद ही कर दिया है.
A controversy broke out last week when Law Minister Kapil Sibal and Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde told the media that a judge will look into the episode. The announcement came under severe attack from the BJP, which slammed the UPA, saying it was practicing vendetta out of desperation of defeat in the elections. The BJP questioned the move, now saying the original decision of the cabinet was taken in December and they could not decide on a judge all these days.
चलिए, उनको सद्बुद्धि आई जाते जाते, इसका हम स्वागत करते हैं, क्योंकि ये जो पूरा काम शुरू हुआ था ये प्रतिशोध की भावना से हुआ था और अब जाते जाते उनको ये अक्ल आई है कि उनको नहीं करना चाहिए. फिर देखेंगे.
ये स्नूप गेट शुरू कहाँ से हुआ? ये स्नूप गेट हमारे टेप हुए थे और उसके लिए मैं चीफ जस्टिस सबरवाल के अदालत में गया था. वो मामला चला और उनके आदेश से प्राइवेसी लॉ बना और यह टेप, इस टेप के बारे में भारत सरकार के गृह मंत्रालय ने, दिल्ली पुलिस ने और सॉलिसिटर जनरल ने अदालत में, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हलफनामा देके कहा कि अवैध टेप है, इलीगल टेप है, सरकार का और तंत्र का इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है.
What apparently took the government by surprise was the opposition from its allies. NCP's Praful Patel said there was no need for an inquiry when the results of the Lok Sabha elections are due in 2 weeks' time. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And we get you some more election buzz in our special segment, Potpourri. Keeping up the heat on Narendra Modi, the Trinamool Congress today wrote to the Election Commission seeking action against the BJP's prime ministerial nominee. The party has accused Modi of violating the model code by seeking votes in the name of religion. Party chief Mamta Banerjee has even called for his arrest. Amid allegations of rigging in the Lok Sabha elections, the Election Commission has issued a fresh directive asking state poll authorities to immediately probe complaints made by polling agents. The poll panel also said telephone numbers of important officials should be displayed prominently at polling stations so that they can be contacted easily by the polling stations in case of a complaint. The directive was issued to the chief electoral officers of Bihar, West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and Uttarakhand, where elections will be held in the last 2 phases on May 7th and May 12th. The Supreme Court today posted the hearing on Aam Aadmi Party's petition against the imposition of President's rule in Delhi for July 4th. The decision comes after the Apex Court was informed that the Lieutenant Governor has decided to deal with the matter after the conclusion of the Lok Sabha polls. And we'll go into a short break now. There's a lot more coming up on India Votes on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. BJP's campaign chief in Uttar Pradesh, Amit Shah, is once again facing the wrath of the Election Commission, this time over his controversial remark on Azamgarh at a rally. Congress has lodged a protest against his remark and asked the poll panel to take stern action. His remarks drew criticism from other parties in the fray in Uttar Pradesh. Here's a report.
It's hardly been a month since EC lifted the ban on Amit Shah from campaigning in UP. Narendra Modi's close aide is back in controversy over yet another controversial remark. Targeting Samajwadi Party during a rally in the UP town in support of BJP candidate, Amit Shah accused Mulayam Singh's party of tacit support to lawlessness. The remark evoked sharp response from ruling SP, which demanded the EC to take immediate cognizance of it. Congress too demanded EC to take strict action against Modi's aide. Amit Shah drew criticism from other parties too.
चुनाव आयोग अपने आप इसको नोटिस लेगा और चुनाव आयोग से अभी अभी बचे हैं। मैं समझता हूं इन स्टेटमेंट्स के बाद इनके ऊपर सख्ती से कार्रवाई हो।
आजमगढ़ का इतिहास बहुत शानदार रहा है और बगैर उसको जाने इस तरीके की बात करना बिल्कुल उचित नहीं है और वहाँ के रहने वाले लोगों को आतंकी बता देना ये बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है।
श्री शाह के इस किस्म के चुनाव आचार संहिता का उल्लंघन करने वाले इनके इस आतंकवादी बयान से खासकर आजमगढ़ व पूर्वांचल के क्षेत्र में कानून व्यवस्था भी बिगड़ सकती है।
इस तरह की बात कहना उनके बारे में मैं समझता हूं कि एक गैर जिम्मेदाराना बयान है और इस तरह के बयान पर इलेक्शन कमीशन को जरूर एक्शन लेना चाहिए।
Not only political parties, some of the Muslim clerics have also condemned Amit Shah's statement.
अमित शाह जो है वो पूरे देश को आतंकवाद की फैक्ट्री बनाना चाहते हैं, पूरे देश को आतंकवाद में लगाना चाहते हैं और वो चूंकि इस मिशन में नाकाम हो रहे हैं इस वजह से वो बौखलाए हुए हैं।
However, BJP tried to defend Amit Shah. It has also found unlikely support from RLD's Amar Singh, who was earlier a member of Samajwadi Party.
अगर देश की सुरक्षा, देश की आंतरिक सुरक्षा, देश की राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा को कहीं से भी खतरा है तो निश्चित तौर से उस बारे में चर्चा होगी और उसको जो है वो सांप्रदायिक कहना, उसको जो है वो किसी धर्म और जाति से जोड़ना कतई ठीक नहीं है।
हम अमित शाह को अकेले क्यों दोष दें? अगर हमारे बड़े भाई आजम खान कारगिल की लड़ाई में सिर्फ मुसलमानों का हाथ और सहयोग बताएं, अगर हमारे दोस्त अबू आसिम आजमी ये बयान दें कि जो समाजवादी पार्टी को जो मुसलमान वोट न दे उसका DNA टेस्ट होना चाहिए, तो इस तरह के असंयमित बयान सिर्फ एक ओर से नहीं आ रहे हैं, हर ओर से आ रहे हैं।
Amit Shah recently had to apologize to the Election Commission after his rallies were banned in UP over alleged hate remarks he made in riot-scared Muzaffarnagar. While lifting the ban, the poll panel had warned of action in case Amit Shah repeated such offence. The new controversy will once again put him in a spot. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And as we told you earlier, BJP's Narendra Modi too is facing the wrath of the Election Commission over his rally in Faizabad in Uttar Pradesh. The poll panel has sought a report from the district administration over the backdrop of Modi's days and his speech at the rally. Modi evoked Ram Mandir sentiments at his rally in Faizabad, which neighbours Ayodhya. Congress has accused Modi of trying to polarize voters. Modi had earlier been under the EC radar for flashing his party symbol while taking a selfie after voting in Gujarat in the last phase. The Election Commission directed Gujarat administration to file 2 FIRs against Modi for alleged violation of the Model Code of Conduct.
84 से इनका ये एजेंडा रहा है। जब जब इनको लगता है कि इनको चुनाव में फायदा लेना है तो वही एजेंडा इनका रहता है। अब वापस वही बात पे आ गए हैं, सांप्रदायिक भाषण दो, राम मंदिर दिखाओ, अब शब्दों का इस्तेमाल करो, बांग्लादेशी का इस्तेमाल करो, हिंदुस्तान से निकालने का इस्तेमाल करो, ताकि जो उत्तर प्रदेश में है वहां समाज में तनाव आए और इनको राजनीतिक फायदा हो।
And we'll slip into a short break again. We'll be back in a short while. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In a major setback to the Congress leader and former Maharashtra Chief Minister Ashok Chavan, the Supreme Court today dismissed his plea on paid news. The apex court ruled that the Election Commission has the authority to decide whether a candidate can be disqualified for misrepresenting how much money was spent on his or her campaign and is currently an MLA. Chavan had earlier challenged a Delhi High Court order in the case.
In a verdict that may have serious implications on curbing paid news, the country's top court today announced the landmark judgment. The Supreme Court has directed the Election Commission to complete its probe against Congress leader Ashok Chavan in paid news case. The top court also said that Election Commission has the power to disqualify any poll candidate for wrong declaration of poll expenses.
पेड न्यूज क्योंकि एक एक्सपेंस होता है, उसकी डिक्लेरेशन अगर नहीं होती तो उसके ना करने के कारण इलेक्शन कमीशन को डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन का पावर है आफ्टर इन्वेस्टिगेशन। इलेक्शन कमीशन इस मामले में जांच पड़ताल इस्तेमाल कर रही थी जब अशोक चौहान इस मैटर को लेकर सुप्रीम कोर्ट आए थे और उसको सुनने के बाद इसको खारिज कर दिया है सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने।
The case relates to his poll expense during the assembly polls in Maharashtra in 2009. The publication of advertisements in various newspapers during the Maharashtra assembly polls campaign is what Chavan is now worried about. In the grab of news, the advertisement lauded him and his achievements as a state chief minister. If Chavan is proved guilty, his candidature could be disqualified.
ये भी कहा है कि within 45 days election commission of India should inquire the matter and give its verdict.
The case was filed by BJP leaders Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, Madhavrao Kinhalkar, Kirit Somaiya and 4 others. Kinhalkar was an independent candidate who contested against Chavan during the 2009 election. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And that's all for now on India Votes. Stay tuned to Rajya Sabha Television. Have a great day.